FIDE is the World Chess Federation. It's a French acronym. It's like a central agency which connects national federations to each other. It measures all chess players' skill levels using FIDE rating. So when you play in a FIDE rated tournament, your rating will either increase or decrease depending on how you perform. So in this video, we'll see how to find a federated tournament, how to get the initial FIDE rating, and how to check your FIDE rating progress. So if you are living in India, you can find federated tournaments by going to the AICF website. It's different for different countries. For those in India, this is where you go. So this is the AICF website, All India Chess Federation. So after you go to aicf.in or through Google, you go to calendar and not all events, or just click on calendar. It'll take you to the events happening in this year or in the starting of next year all over India, which are federated. So you see here it's a list of tournaments. So I am right now in December. So if you scroll all the way down, you will find the tournaments you can participate in. So the next step is basically, let's say you want to play in this, let's say this federated tournament. You click on download, you understand the details and register for the tournament. So how to register for a tournament, I have covered in a separate video, which you can find on the top over here, I suppose. So that's how you find a federated tournament. Now, when you play in a federated tournament, not everyone gets FIDE rating in their first or second. So to get FIDE rating, you need to satisfy a few criteria. FIDE rating starts from 1400. So you have to play a federated tournament. You have to play at least five games, five rated games. So games against unrated players or players with rating zero won't be counted. They are not rated. Only the games against federated players are counted. So you have to play five federated players. It can be done in one tournament or more. Second, you have to score against at least one of them. So you have to at least have zero point 0.5, a draw at least, against a federated player. And third, you have to have a FIDE rating of minimum 1400. So when you calculate FIDE rating, it should come to above 1400. So these are the three things you have to satisfy to get your initial FIDE rating. So I'll show you how to calculate your initial FIDE rating. It's a very long process, but FIDE has a very simple way to calculate it. You just have to go to the FIDE website, which is fide.com. You will find ratings here. You click on ratings, and then you go to calculators. You can see here the FIDE ratings of all the top players. Magnus Carlsen is right now with a FIDE standard rating of 2831. And if you go to my profile here, you'll find my rating is 1736 something. So you go to ratings and then you go to calculators. And here, if you want to calculate your initial rating, you click on initial rating. Average, enter these details. Average opponent rating. So let's say you played six games against rated players and the total by six. Let's say it comes to 1572. You scored 2 points, let's say, against rated players, and you played total six games. And then you click on calculate initial rating, it comes to 1447. It even shows the calculation. This is the DP value. So average plus or minus DP value. If let's say you've played six opponents and your opponent's total rating by six, which is the average, is 1442. And let's say you scored only 1 point. Then if you calculate it, it'll come to 1169, which means you won't get FIDE rating. So final calculation has to come above 1400. That is the main criteria. So this is how you get your FIDE rating. And now once you get your rating, you can check your progress. You can see how many opponents you played and all that by going to your profile, which is on FIDE. You go to ratings and here you will see a search bar. So you click here and type your name. Let's say I want to check my progress. I type Shipin K Benny. You can also type in your FIDE ID. You get your FIDE ID when you play your first FIDE rated tournament. The arbiters will register you in FIDE and you'll get your FIDE ID. So I click here and you can see my name here. And this is my details. This is the standard rating, classical. For time control, at least 30 plus 30 or above. Rapid is for 30 plus 30 below. And blitz is 5 minutes or 3 minutes. So there is FIDE rating separately for each category. So if you play in a classical tournament, you'll get classical rating. And then if you play in a rapid, you'll get rapid and blitz same. If you are playing for the first time, I mean, if you're playing in a rapid tournament after getting classical rating, your first rapid rating will start with your classical rating, and then it will change from there. And you can also see your rating progress here of all three: standard, rapid, and blitz, and your calculations also for each tournament, that is, and your statistics, how many games you won with white, with black, and all that. So FIDE takes care of everything. It just unifies everybody, all the chess players under one umbrella. So you can measure everybody's progress and skill level in a very unified and standard way. So that is the purpose of World Chess Federation. And this is how you get your FIDE rating. One important thing is when you search for a tournament to play in, some of the tournaments will be rapid. You can see here, this for example, it's a 2 day rapid tournament. All are FIDE rated, but these are FIDE rated rapid tournaments. Other ones, this for example, is classical. So it will be mentioned in the brochure and also in the title. If it is rapid, it will be mentioned rapid, and if it's blitz, it will be mentioned blitz. Blitz tournaments are very rare, like federated. And another thing is, in different states federations, you will find some 1 day or 2 day tournaments, which mostly are not rated, not federated. Federated tournaments you will find on AICA website. Other places where you find these small tournaments, they won't be considered for FIDE rating. They are just open events, rapid or blitz normal events, which even if it's classical, it won't be considered as a FIDE rated event. For that, you have to come to AICA website. Finally, before you go, there are a few more small points to understand about FIDE rating. FIDE ratings are published on the first day of every month. So if your rating has changed because you played in a tournament in that month, that will reflect in the next month FIDE rating. On the first of the month, you can check it on the FIDE website. Sometimes when you play a tournament at the end of a month, they won't have time to update it by next month beginning, so it'll be updated after 1 month. That's one thing. Second, if your FIDE rating falls below 1400, then you become an unrated player. Let's say my rating is 1421 and I play in a rated tournament and I lose 30 points. So that means my rating has gone below 1400, which means it goes to zero. So I'll have to again gain FIDE rating by playing five rated players and scoring against a rated opponent and getting 1400 plus rating. And third, before you play in a tournament, you will also have to register in AICF. If you are in India, if it's a federated tournament in India, you have to register in AICF, which is like 250 rupees per year, which you have to do in the AICF website. There is a separate video for that. You can find it here. And FIDE changes these rules of rating criteria and everything like periodically. There was a change like 1 year back. Earlier, FIDE rating started from 1000. Now it's from 1400. So to adjust things for rating inflation and everything, they'll keep making changes. So this video is just a standard like procedure to understand FIDE rating. The rules may change in the future, but this much is like sure as of now in 2024. And finally, federating is something a lot of children get obsessed with. Like if they lose, they'll lose rating and they get, frustrated, disappointed. So we should just forget about, ratings. We should enjoy chess, play more games, and try to play as many tournaments as you can without worrying about rating. Rating will follow you, it's just your shadow. So if your skill goes up, rating will come. Rating will come with you. In if not in one tournament or two, if you play like 10 tournaments without worrying about rating and you're practicing regularly, then you'll definitely have a good FIDE rating. One sentiment I share with a lot of players is federated tournaments are expensive. Fair warning for someone who's starting out, playing in competitive tournaments. It's a very expensive thing. Like if you have to register for a tournament, usually costs for a classical tournament minimum 3000. For a rapid 1 day tournament, it will be like 1000, 1500. And it can also be as high as 10,000 if it's a big tournament, classical tournament. And then on top of that, you have to like travel, you have to find accommodation. Some tournaments provide accommodation, some don't. And accommodation they provide anyway will be dormitory or, shared basis. So when I started playing chess, it was, of course, during my college time, and it was tough for me to like find the finances to, play in tournaments I want to. So I have to pick and choose which ones to go for and all that. So what you can do is if you are just starting out and you haven't got a financially stable thing, Then you can start playing in these 1 day tournaments which are not federated. And once you get used to the competitive environment of chess, then you can play in a federated tournament and see how you're doing. And then continue from there. So once you start playing in tournaments, you will definitely enjoy it, but you'll also hate it at the same time because it's both fascinating and painful at the same time playing in tournaments. So you want to like practice regularly, be in your top shape, and take everything as a learning process. So hope you enjoyed this video and it was helpful. I hope so. Good luck for your tournaments.